Hey everybody, we're here at SEMA again. We're in the Dynacorn booth, and I know a lot of us have seen them online. We have questions about it and so forth. So these are the guys that are making the reman bodies, and one of them is the Challenger, 70 Challenger, correct?
1970 Challenger.
70 Challenger. So for a lot of you guys out there that want to build a car, but we know how hard it is finding rust-free bodies. And a lot of times you'll put tens of thousands of dollars in redoing the bodywork on an old clunker, and you still just got a reman body to begin with. Whereas this might be a better alternative for you. So this is James. He's going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with the manufacturing process, and because that's usually a lot of the questions that we have is how are these things made, what kind of quality is involved with it. Obviously price is a big thing, but so we're going to get some. We're going to talk to James and see about getting a little bit of the history here. So the stampings on these things, what kind of dies do you guys use, and did you guys use any type of drawings or maybe originally stuff from Chrysler itself?
No. Everything's been reverse engineered off an original car.
So you took original car, reverse engineered, made your own dies and stuff like that?
All the stamping's been re-engineered for us.
Okay. And where are they stamped at?
All the parts are stamped in Taiwan, and then they're brought from overseas into our California location, and everything is fully assembled to the shell in our facility in Camarillo, California.
Okay, so the stampings themselves, what type of gauge metal are you guys using?
It's actually a little thicker, but if you took a gauge and you went on it, it's about an 18 gauge. Obviously, like your frame rails and everything else are going to be a little thicker.
Right.
But the base sheet metal is going to be 18 gauge.
Okay, so that's usually a big worry with guys getting restamps, when we're putting new quarters on and stuff like that. Exactly, is that the original metal, nothing like the original metal, they say. So a lot of times when we're welding old panels to new panels, there's misalignments and it's just not the same. So as long as the guys here, the sheet metal is in good quality, that's what we're looking for.
With our sheet metal, if you're even like say you're putting this on an original car, you would actually prefer to weld my metal than the original car. It's a higher grade steel than they use originally.
Great, okay. So the ordering process, if I come to you and say, hey listen, I want a 70 Challenger, how long do you have them in stock? How long are they built to order?
I currently have this one in stock. Is for sale. So anybody wants to buy it, $17,500.
I was going to ask you, what's the price on these?
$17,500 is our price on the shell. There's for the crating charge is $495, and then plus shipping. And shipping comes out of our California location. It's usually about $1 a mile, depending on where it goes.
Right, about an average of that. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't have them in stock, what's usually a lead time to ordering? What's a typical lead time?
Lead time, if I don't have it, maybe a month or two.
Okay, all right. And is this what we get? So we get it with doors?
Exactly how you see it here.
So it has doors on it, no fenders, no hood?
No, unfortunately.
Deck lid? Is there a deck lid on it?
There's a trunk lid on top.
There's a deck lid on it, okay. And do you guys offer any type of warranty or anything like that on rust and corrosion and things of that nature?
Everything we stand behind, 100%.
Right.
So, but like you say, with this car, it comes with the hinges. So it has the trunk hinges, it has the door hinges. It does not come with the latches, but it is basically like you see firewall back complete with the doghouse.
So feedback, obviously that's a big deal from your customers. Is there evolution of design change and stuff like that? So one of the things that we're probably worried about is that we're taking a brand new body that's been stamped, and then we're going to be putting old parts onto it. Maybe a guy's converting and dragging parts, donor cars onto it.
Oh yeah, taking his old strip car and putting it back on the street.
Exactly. So I assume that the fit and alignment from old parts, trying to transplant them onto the new car, everything is a simple bolt up, correct?
Correct. Everything that you see here as on this shell, I sell as an individual component. Our main business is parts. We've been in business since 1984 selling parts. 15 years ago, we were making so many parts, we started putting them together, making bodies.
Why not, right?
When you got it, you got it.
That's right.
So that came to fruition 15 years ago. And obviously the progression has grown from the Mustangs to the Camaros, Challengers, Chevy pickups, Chevelles.
So what's the thought process of not offering them with the fenders and the hood? And then is that something in the future you're going to do?
Are you a Hemi guy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want a rally hood?
Exactly. So there's
too many
packages. Yeah. So it's just a matter of just because you can't. Everybody wants something different, so you can't satisfy everybody.
Correct.
So give them the base unit and let them build from there.
Like I tell everybody, I give you the blank canvas, you paint the picture.
That's right. Exactly.
So you want that 426 Hemi, then you can do it. You want a 6.2 Hemi, you can do it.
Right.
You want the rally hood, you want a TA hood, you want the Hemi hood, it's entirely up to you.
So 17.5,
17,500.
17.5. So many of you already know 70 Challengers are almost becoming the unicorn. You find one that's rust-free, you're going to pay way more than that. And even if you find one that's a basket case and you're going to have to hold it together with duct tape and baling wire, by the time you cut everything off, weld everything back on, and all your time and money, I guarantee you're going to be into it more than 17.5. And then all the hidden nooks and crannies of all the corrosion and everything like that. One big question I do have is that when you put quarters on, where they meet the inner tubs and so forth like that, do you do any corrosion preventing down inside of there where all the metal meets?
Everything is coated on inside and out.
So it's e-coated? Is it that standard kind of like the
depending
black?
on what it is. Some of it's weld through primer and then the e-coat, depending on the part.
Right. Okay, because obviously, you know, we don't want to go back to where we were to begin with. So,
but unfortunately, metal rust.
Metal rust, so you can't help that.
And we try to do as much as we can to keep it from happening, but if it's going to rust, it's going to rust.
Any other Mopar products that you can build besides the 70 Challenger?
Right now, the e-body is the only thing we're working on.
Okay.
Hopefully in the future here, we'll be moving forward some Mopar stuff. I want to start trying to branch into some of the B-body stuff, see how that works.
Right, absolutely. Well, James, I appreciate it very much.
Appreciate it.
And Dynacorn, check these guys out because I'm personally looking at it, and it's definitely a good product, and we need to try to support these guys. And if you got a basket case, this is probably the way to go. So thanks a lot.